Okay, so Diksha, let's proceed ahead with your mock interview for National Pension Scheme (NPS). So let's proceed ahead. Please introduce yourself, Diksha.
Yes, hello, respected panel. My name is Diksha Jain. I am a graduate in engineering from IT branch in NSIT New Delhi. I am also currently pursuing Masters in Economics. I have a work experience of 1 year, 3 months working in Boston Consulting Group as an analyst. I had a very really great learning experience there in field of client handling and problem solving. However, to pursue my dream to work in a government sector, I left my job, and then I was preparing for UPSC Civil Services with economics as my optional subject. I did really well there, but couldn't make it to the final list. So I decided to utilize my skills in private sector, and I started working again in Tollring India Private Limited. So this was all about my career. And personally, I am a very hardworking person and dedicated person. I am currently living in New Delhi with my parents, and I really like to sing and read biographies of famous people in my free time.
Okay. Diksha, you spent 6 years for writing UPSC exams.
Yes, sir.
Got nothing.
Sir, I got a lot of knowledge and learning experience from it. But yes, the actual goal which I had in mind, I didn't get it, unfortunately.
Okay, give the honest answer. After these 6 years of lot of effort, I think the maximum effort you must have done ever in your life.
Yes.
For getting into something. Now,
Yes.
after 6 years, you could not get the thing which you wanted. What is your mental state for this? Has effort gone waste, or hard work never goes waste?
Sir, no, it never goes waste. It's the honest answer because I discovered my potential in this journey. I never knew that I could work so hard. I have so much focus and dedication. I discovered it through this journey. Yes, it is demotivating at times because after many results, I felt that okay, my hard work is not paying off. But then in a long run, I learned a lot. I learned that it's not always the result that matters, because some part of destiny always plays there, but what you put in there, that gives you the long run satisfaction.
Okay, so Diksha, Edison experimented a lot when he invented the bulb.
Yes, sir.
You also tried 6 times.
Yes.
Every time Edison was saying I was going close to my target and I was knowing how not to make a bulb.
Yes, sir.
I want your answer. How not to prepare for UPSC? Can you answer me for that? At least in 6 attempts you came to know about that.
Yes, sir.
So if a new aspirant comes for UPSC, what Diksha is to tell him how not to prepare? What not to do?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the starting 2 years of my life, what I learned was that never to take shortcuts for any long-term goal. Because as I entered into preparation, I was like that whichever notes I get, I would mug it up and go for the exam. I had a very quick aspiration to become an IS. But then I realized that no, to achieve something high, you have to start from scratch and understand it thoroughly. But in my later attempts, when I was doing it, I realized that sometimes the burnout also kills the efficiency. So there's a saying also that you should sharpen your axe for some time and then start chopping the woods. So I think that thing matters. That's why after I couldn't clear it, so I relaxed my mind. I decided that how I can take my career ahead. And beautifully, I found the NPS opportunity also in the same year. So it was really great for me to continue.
Some people say UPSC is the most irrational exam on earth. Do you agree?
Sir, not irrational. Actually, it has some very relevant questions. The pattern of the exam, earlier I didn't used to understand that why so many papers together, why so much of writing. But to test a person's endurance, sometimes you have to put the person under stress and then see how the person reacts. Okay. So it's not irrelevant to test.
So now you have economy as option subject, right?
Yes, sir.
Diksha. So how your IT background and economy background is going to help you in your job in NPS?
Sir, what economics taught me was similar to my learnings from IT, because both of them taught me technical and analytical skills. And I, across the job, across the preparation, I realized that these two skills are needed in every job. Even for managerial job, one needs that. How economics gives a lot of insight into managerial jobs, because when I in economics, when I read about that, how resources should be managed, what is the opportunity cost of each resource, so in that way it gives an insight that whatever resources you have available, you have to manage them the best in that way.
Okay.
So in that way, I think both the things are very helpful for
Okay,
me.
Diksha, NPS was in news recently. Any idea about that?
Sir, I think very recently in last month, NPS upgraded the age limit for applying into the scheme.
Okay, are you aware about the issues and problems which NPS is facing as of now through our website?
Sir, as in the functioning of the website. Sir, I visited the NPS
website.
Not
functioning of the website. I'm not talking about the website. I'm talking about the organization. We are having some kind of issue, some kind of problem we are facing in our vision, future, and objectives. So, any idea
Sir,
about that?
I'm not very sure about just the recent issues, but in general, I think that majorly the issues are with managing the pension fund managers, because when you have to deal with a corporate entity, you have to keep them in check that they are giving the promised thing to your subscribers. And secondly, the audit and compliance reports which NPS seeks around in all those entities, that is a very tedious task which has to be managed very efficiently. And sir, the third thing which I think NPS should be facing issues in, that how to invest the subscribers' money in the best possible way, because we have to care for our subscribers.
Okay, Diksha, now, if you join NPS as technocrat, that too from NSIT Delhi, which is a reputed institute, that too from IT background, which is a very good branch in engineering. Now, if you join NPS at this age, I mean, new youngsters far lesser age than you will be joining from commerce background. How will you react to this situation? When your colleagues, not that educated as you are, not as of age as you are, they're younger to you, and they're having less qualification than you. How you will adapt to that situation?
Sir, actually, the thought of working with someone with a commerce background or someone with a different background than mine, it actually excites me, because I always look forward to learn from people. So I think it's very good for personal growth. If I cannot have a graduation or a degree in every subject, but if I get to learn from those people while working with them, then that is a great learning opportunity for me.
Okay, over to you, Sikrani sir.
Okay, so I'm audible, Diksha?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, so Diksha, how since now you're aspiring to get into NPS, so how do you think that you can contribute in NPS, relating your background to this particular domain? What areas do you think that where you can utilize your background, which will be more kind of beneficial for NPS?
Sir, as far as I understand this profile, it's a managerial profile dealing with handling the intermediaries and in the preparation of reports, in which needs a very core knowledge in finance and economics, and also the logical problem solving approach, because every time a new problem will be encountered which was not there before. So my skills are somewhat related to these things, because the technical profile and the analytical skills which I gathered even in UPSC preparation and also in my job at Boston Consulting Group. So these skills actually help to solve these problems, because I would be knowing that how a problem is started from discussion phase, how it progresses, what are the resources required, how to interact with people to get extra information required to solve the problem, and how to take it to its end solution. So I think I have the understanding of the entire line which is present in this problem solving.
Okay.
In NPS.
So, do you have any idea when, in which year NPS was launched?
Sir, I think it was launched in 2004 after the OSS project recommendations were released for a fixed contribution scheme. So PFRDA was established in 2003, I think, with the Act, and subsequently NPS was launched in 2004.
So since it's like when it was launched, till now, do you have any idea that how much returns on an average that these pension holders who are investing in it are able to get?
Sir, I'm not very sure about the earlier years, but last year, since the pandemic began, because many of people, they invest in equities and debt and in a ratio. So when the equity investment has been 50 or 75%, if they have opted for that account, it has been around 15 to 20% because the stock market has been really good in this last 1 year. I mean, starting from a very low and going to a very high. And I think in general, there's an always 8 to 10% of return, which NPS is able to give to its subscribers in normal conditions.
So don't you think that, okay, since you have given this choice to the investors, like investing, choosing a particular portfolio within NPS, whether you're going for debt or maybe for equity, so how lucrative will it be compared to mutual funds, right? So what I think is, don't you think, see that mutual fund will be able to give you a much better return and flexibility compared to NPS? And when a person, let us say, who is investing in NPS, and see, we can only speculate. We can only simply say that, okay, after so many years, you are on yearly basis and all that way, we are able to get the return of 8 to 10%. What if, let us say, down the line, 20 years, stock market crashes, again, you're back to the square one from where you started. So how to ensure that, okay, the people who are investing basically get a good return and they are assured enough that, okay, after 20 years when they are going to retire, at least they have something in kitty.
Sir, actually, regarding the mutual funds point, I think there's always an option for subscribers that they can go individually to mutual funds, but NPS provides them a regulated environment for that their money is under some regulation, and NPS is also interacting with its fund managers to push them to give them a higher return. And secondly, sir, the brokerage fee here is very less. If they invest in market, they have to pay around 2 to 3%, but here it is less than 1%. So that's an added advantage to NPS subscribers. And sir, regarding that, if the stock market crashes or there's a risk factor in NPS accounts also, so I think the structure of the scheme tries to insure people from that, because in all the schemes up to 35 years of age, people can get more share in the equities, and later that share keeps on decreasing, because with age the risk factor increases. The person is not so much aggressive to invest in different options. So I think that is handled with care on the NPS side, but rest the risk factor can always be there, so we can only cover it up but cannot totally remove it if we have to get more returns.
Okay. So, okay, Diksha, since since you have been preparing for civil services, and during that time also you had economics as your optional, and right now also you're doing MA economics. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So a few questions from that side. Okay. So something I think related to anti-dumping duties or something, it was news recently. Okay. So from there, I just there's a question in my mind that how to differentiate between anti-dumping duties, safeguard duties, and countervailing duties. Do you have any idea?
Sir, anti-dumping duty is imposed on an item if that product is available at a higher price in the domestic market of the country. Suppose China is exporting us some tires or something, and they have in their domestic market it as a higher price, and they are deliberately selling it at a lower price to India so as to kill our market. So in that case, we have every right to impose an anti-dumping duty on them, on their products. And sir, countervailing duty is something, I think, which is a short-term kind of concept that we are telling the world market that, okay, you are not doing a malpractice, but we need to protect our domestic producers. So we need to impose a duty for some time so that they can grow their business and they stand on their feet. And after that, we'll remove it. So I think it is something similar, but the intention to impose it differs. That is my understanding of it, sir.
What about safeguard?
So safeguard mechanisms are similar to the protection to producers in the domestic economy, because sometimes the markets are very infant, they are not grown enough. Like recently we started making PPE kits and vaccine in India, so we had to safeguard them till they reach the actual production point, which will make them sustain in the market. So we place some safeguards there.
Okay. Okay, Diksha, I think now we can provide you the feedback. Okay. Let me just go ahead from my side, and then Dr. Vijender can continue. See, overall, now it seems okay. You are on the correct the direction, right? You are explaining it well. Confidence is okay. And also your explanation to the things or the understanding level is also good. So I don't find kind of like, okay, a deviation in that. So most of the questions which will be related to your domain, how it is going to be beneficial over there, I think you have already gone through their website also, in which domain they are working, and what could be the possible areas where you can work. So that you have, I think, fairly good understanding. So I think that is good enough. And regarding, I think, economy part, maybe because it is not something like they are going to ask very specific question, even though I asked a very specific question, which you are not very much clear about. But anyway, so I think you don't need to bother about that much. Okay. So last question which I asked you was, which was related to your like this countervailing, anti-dumping, and safeguard. Anti-dumping you explained well. It's okay. So when you are selling any particular product at a price which is lower than your domestic price in that particular country of export, so that is okay. For that you have to impose some kind of duty so that it is at par with the domestic prices and all that. So this countervailing duties are normally, see, in many countries you are having this, they provide subsidies, right? For example, if I'm in India, or let's say if China is producing a particular product, so produce that product, they indirectly provide so many subsidies. So when the final cost comes out to be, it is already less. So when the final cost is less, then if you will export, it is going to be competitive. So to counter that, you have the countervailing duties.
Okay. To counter the subsidies of other countries.
Subsidies of other countries, which many, particularly the developed countries, provide that way to many products, right? So that will not fall under the category of anti-dumping, because you're not reducing the price compared to domestic, but you have produced it at such a good rate by providing indirect subsidies that it has become highly competitive. So you are selling it at the same price which you are selling in the domestic market, but that price is already low, right? And safeguard is similar, but the safeguard concept is different that way, that if imports becomes too large, for example, let us say in India, if for a particular commodity imports becomes too huge, then it can hurt your domestic market. So WTO has given a kind of provision that in such a situation, to safeguard your domestic industry, you can impose some duties which are given the name called as safeguard duties.
Okay.
So when your imports becomes too huge in a particular given period of time, so that it can hurt the domestic market, then you provide the, of course you will go for investigation. It's not that you will directly go. There is a Director General of Safeguards and all that. So both sides are listened to, and then finally it is this. If it is proved that, okay, this is the situation, imports have increased significantly and it is harming the domestic industry, then you can go for that. Okay. So slight difference between these terms, but overall is to protect the domestic market.
Sir,
So Diksha, yes.
Sir, I have a doubt that if I was a bit unsure about the countervailing duties, so should I try answering it like I did right now, or should I directly say that I'm not very clear about it or something like that?
You can say that, okay, you can say that I can try. So even though I am not pretty clear, but I can try. So that way I think that you should say. You answered it, but that was a very general answer.
Yes, sir.
I could not figure. The other person could not figure it out. Obviously, if he knows, then he can figure out what we want to say. But it was not straightforward, and that may happen. I don't think that because you are from that background, so they may, if they randomly ask any particular question, which is so, even if you are not able to answer, you can be straightforward. You can say, okay, sir, I'm not very sure, but I think it is related to this, and I can try if you give me a chance. So that way you're safe.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You're not guessing it, right? Okay. So see, since I heard it somewhere, so I was knowing that you may not be able to answer it. So that is why I asked it, right? So that kind of situation can also come up in the interview also. If they have something and they are clear about it, they can ask you. So, okay. So anyhow, from my side, that okay, you are able to explain the things well. So I hope you are prepared for that. Okay. So now I think over to Dr. Vijender. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. So Diksha looks like his performance is good and answers also you given are good. From my side, it's okay. जो ticklish question भी मैंने पूछे, जैसे 6 साल का वो आपने time waste कर दिया and all these questions you can expect, you know. When we were preparing for civil services, me and even Saklani sir were preparing, these questions used to come to us also. That आपने इतना time लगाया, you are that time is 4 attempts, you know. And you guys are lucky, no, you have 2 more attempts. Lucky or unlucky, I don't know, because we exit after 4, you are exiting after 6. So these questions were asked to us also. And in these situations, you know, you need to take it very meticulously. You say, sir, when you connect the dot at the backside, then you will get to know. As of now, I've just come out of it. There are positives, there are negatives in the mind, but philosophically, I know what I have seen people, those who could not make it up, and now where they are in life, they are even better than had they got selected. So that way, I believe, sir, it is not bad. There's nothing wrong in life. You will always learn. There are, you know, every experience teaches you something, and there's always something better in store for you. But as we cannot connect dot in future, you can only connect a dot in past. So I believe after 10 to 15 years, I'll be realizing that yes, it was good for me. The kind of knowledge which I've acquired, and you know, that was, and I could not get. I'm sure I'll prove it that it was everything which happened was good. I'll prove it. This is how you have to answer, and that was good you have given. But be confident. Interview is not about answering not answering the correct answers or something. Interview is all about confidence. Think for a while, be confident, give the answer.
Okay.
If you don't know anything, what is the GDP of India today? Sorry, sir, no idea. So if you don't have idea, say no idea. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Nothing to think about that. It is a very basic question, so I don't know. वो सब कोई फायदा?
देखो लॉस तो होता है, अगर तुम बोल रहे हो इकोनॉमी में एमए कर रही हो और तुम्हें ये पता ही नहीं है कि जीडीपी कितना है इंडिया का इस टाइम पे, तो लॉस होता है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट, बट आपका कॉन्फिडेंस देख के और बाकी फैक्टर देख के शायद वो उस चीज को इग्नोर कर दें, शायद उसको इग्नोर कर दें. समटाइम दे फील के नहीं ठीक है, मतलब शी इज गिविंग मोर ऑफ लेस अदर आंसर्स, कई बार स्किप हो जाता है दिमाग से. सो राइट नाउ सर, आई एम सॉरी सर, इट्स अ वेरी बेसिक थिंग, बट इट इज नॉट हिटिंग माय माइंड एज ऑफ नाउ. बोलने का तरीका है ना वो, that's how it is done. So see, professors in IITs or you know some very big place, and you ask them very basic question, they don't know that. It does not mean he's not a knowledgeable fellow, but it's not hitting him. That's it. You say sir abhi aa nahi raha dimag mein, though it's very basic question, so it is not hitting me as of now. ऐसा बोल सकते हैं, right?
ठीक है sir.
Be confident, be calm, be composed, Diksha, and you will make it up. Right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All the best.